Hey, wonderful people. I'm back here again. I'm Frank. I am working those two jobs. It's been a week now since I went through the last week, which had New Year's Day in it. Is that correct? Yeah, I think that's correct. So that whole week is going to be a little shorter on the paycheck. Okay. So I'm thinking So, okay, I just paid rent. How you pay your rent is how you feel about paying your rent is it tells a lot about your mental state, your emotional state, and your economic state, your financial state, I should say. Because when you are broke as a joke and ready to choke, you are terrified by rent, and you pay it, and you look at your bank account beforehand to see if you can pay it, or maybe you pay it and hope it clears. It's a terrible feeling. Those are terrible feelings. Um, and then the next step up from that is paying it, and you're kind of sure it's going to clear, and but you don't want to stress too much about it. And then the next thing is you pay it, and you kind of have a fear about it, but you know it's going to be okay anyway because you know the math in your head. That's where I'm at right now. And then the next step up from that is that you're glad to pay it. You're glad to pay it easily. You know it's going to clear. You know the whole thing is okay. You're glad. The next one is to be really glad. That's the next level. Really glad that you can pay it, and you're just happy to slam that down and not worry about it at all. But the next level above that is that you pay it and you really don't care about it. It's just not that important anymore. It's just another cost. Think about it. All the costs we have in life, um, getting something out of a vending machine. We don't have a heart attack about that. We don't go crazy about that because it's such a small cost. And when your mortgage or your rent is such a small cost, you won't care about that much either. You just be like, it's just another thing. Then you know you're doing well at that point when it's just another thing. So yeah, and yeah, that was that about the rent. But with the second job, my second job basically pays the rent pretty much. Um, well, yeah, it does. It pays the rent almost all the way. So my regular daytime paychecks is like basically gravy if I didn't have any other costs, which of course I do. I have to eat, I have to drink, I don't drink alcohol, but I drink a lot of water. I like it, and I like teas, I like hot chocolate, and I do those around all the time. I have to keep the lights on, all those things, internet, a couple other things going on. Oh, and then I have dental bills that I have to pay. It's about 100, what is that, 130 a month. It's probably going to go up. That's okay because I'm bringing in all the money. I got the medical expenses because I went to the hospital. I went to the emergency room with a kidney stone, which I probably could have. If I had the medication here, the pain medication to just let it subside, probably would have done that. That's because I was eating too much arugula, believe it or not. That's what that was about. Crazy. There's a lot of calcium in arugula, apparently. Don't do it, baby. Don't do it. And I drink a lot of water, so I was passing a lot of the calcium right through. But for some reason, I had a lot of calcium. Oh, I had a lot of salt. I had a salty uh, meal. I forget what it was, and then it kind of the calcium and the salt together with a little less water than usual and sitting down a lot. Perfect storm. I got a little kidney stone, and the stone is like a grain of sand. That cost me $1,000. It cost the insurance company $6,000. I'm glad I have insurance. I got it off the marketplace. I pay that, and I have some other things. That's about. And I have bills. Uh, oh, and I'm paying down a debt, credit card stuff on another card. because I put that on there. But that's no interest card. It's one of the no interest deals to pay down. It was like $6,000 last year from more dental costs. I had to straighten out my teeth. It is a mess. It was a mess in there. Yeah, and honestly, the $4,000 that I racked up this year, I didn't have to rack any of that up, because if I went in there and the dentist said you have a cavity here and you got a cavity there and you got a cavity there, and I said fine, I'll be back next week and we can fix those, the insurance would have paid that and I would have paid nothing, $0.00. But because I was in such a poverty mindset and didn't want to come back until things were worse, later on in the year, she was like, "Oh, well, now it's a genuine cavity, and we have to take that whole bridge off. That's $4,000 right there, if you want to put it back on." Which foolishly, I guess, I did. In the past, I've had teeth pulled because it was too expensive to crown them, and I regret that. Now it's gone forever. So I made, when you're depressed and you're broke, and you feel like you kind of like let those financial experiences make you feel a certain way, like you make them feel like you're a loser, like, and then you kind of make those decisions like you really are. Well, think about it. If you there and there have been a lot of cases of this in history. There have been a lot of cases where millionaires have lost it all, lost everything, beyond broke, right? Great Depression. I'm looking at what's on my pants. That's nothing. Uh, beyond, right? The Great Depression. They were broke, and other situations like that. And how did they feel when they were broke and they couldn't pay their bills? They felt totally different. They didn't feel like a loser, right? Because, and then they worked their way back up. If you feel like a thing, you're going to make decisions like a thing. And boy, did I do that. And I learned my lesson. Nope, we're not doing that anymore. When you go into an important situation, whether, it's for the dentist or financial, if there's financial matters and you feel like a victim and you feel like the winds of change are blowing you around and you have nothing going on and you can't do anything, and it's like, screw me, go ahead, life, ream me another one. What's the bill going to be now? That's the entire wrong mindset. And it may be true. You may get reamed out money. But you can't go into it like that, or you will make the poor decisions. Back away from it if you have to. You'll be like, I'm not going to make this decision right now. I have to talk it over with my fiance, girlfriend, wife, whatever it is. Cat, hold it. Cat wants to be part of the video. We're not doing that again. Oh, thank you, Cat. Thank you for your good God. That's what I wanted to avoid. A cat, when at least when my cat sees a new situation, the cat is like, oh, I got to check it out. And the cat is clumsy. This is a clumsy cat, and the cat knocks it down almost every time. Oh, I don't have my regular stand. I have a much better stand, and it's in the car. I could go down and get it, but it's 34 degrees out, so I'm not going to do that. Oh man, maybe I'll just make another video or go down and get it. I'm trying to put things in back of the phone so it won't fall down. Look, so do you want to see my ceiling? Oh, that didn't work either. How about a Christmas ornament? Maybe that'll do it. Oh wow, okay. Christmas ornament is doing it. And Christmas ornament is an angel. There you go. Right? It's divinely done. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so this is the stage of your life if you fall down in finances. And keeping what the British call a stiff upper lip really is kind of important, because that's how you make decisions well. And I've seen it in my life. I've made bad decisions when I felt like a victim, and I made great decisions and had miracles happen, honestly, when I didn't feel like a victim. I would have, you know, things get paid off on their own. Right? Oh no, the insurance company was contacted again. Now they're paying it. Right? Okay. Yeah. So, and I know these levels are the same. The pay your rent levels that I was talking about. It's the same in how you feel about all your finances. It's never done. You're never gonna get to a point where you feel you don't care about your finances and you're not going to have financial stress. You're always going to have financial stress because as you know, if you're making multi-million dollars a year, you're going to buy $1 million house probably and have an expensive car and a big pool and a lot of expenses, and the upkeep on your expensive house might be $1 million a year. That's people live those lives. Yeah. And it just, you know, or you're going to want to expand your business and put your business on, you know, get a huge loan to expand your business, and then you're going to have the stress to pay it off, and you don't know how, and maybe the business isn't coming in like it's supposed to. This is life, but it's really bad and negative when you're at the bottom because there's nowhere to go, and you feel like a loser. You feel like you should just lay down and take it, or that you did something wrong. And maybe you did do something wrong. I don't know. But let it go. Just let it go, man. Because the only way you're going to get back to where, or to go where you've never gone before, financial sufficiency, right? And then maybe beyond, which is my goal, is not feeling like you're going to lose the next thing. It, scared money doesn't get money. Never does. And, well, that's how it goes. So, I am taking down I'm cleaning the place. Saturday is a very busy day, or it should be, or you won't get anything done for the rest of the week. And it's always problematic on Saturday because our culture tells us that we should probably just party and relax on Saturday. You deserve it. So I try and beat that by getting a lot of caffeine down my gullet, and I didn't caffeinate it today, but I'm pretty much on it today. Although I did watch about an hour or two of nonsense. Try not to do that. If you're scrolling, you're screwed. If you're scrolling your life away, I mean, think about it. At 2, 3, 4, 5 hours can go along, and you'll think back on your scroll time. What did you get out of it? What do you remember? You don't hardly remember anything. I call it emotional masturbation. You didn't get anything out of it. You just felt good, and now it's over. That's it. You didn't do anything. And I'm trying to really stop that. It's hard when you have a business on, when you have businesses, when you have YouTube channels, because YouTube is it's like if you were if you were an alcoholic but you own a bar, right? It's not a good match. It's a lot of temptation to screw your time up. I'm not going to spend 4 or 5 hours, 3 hours even. I'm trying to spend as little hours as possible scrolling because I don't have time for that. I have a life that's insanely busy because I have 2 jobs and it's working out really well now. And the way it's going to work out well is if you use your weekends well. If you don't use your weekends well, it's not. And you can't overpile things, which I mean by you can't put too many things on your palette during the weekends. But I work my dreams during the weekend. I work on my dreams. And I'm also working on mostly during the week, but I think about it and discuss it with myself like a kind of like a therapy couch. I sit down and ask myself questions, and it might be like questions. Well, how do you feel about that? What do you think they're going to feel when you do that? So I'm going over that now because on Monday I'm going to start this new thing where I am going to be applying for jobs that's going to take away my day job definitely, and um, probably make my night job useless, right? I won't need it anymore. I'll make enough money. But doesn't mean I'm going to do away with it if I don't have to. Not immediately. I like the money, right? It's probably going to go bye-bye because I'll probably be too stressed with a new job. But I'll be reasonable about it. I'll think about it. And going slow and having money coming into your bank account makes it so that I can make decisions consciously. That's what, with reason. And when you're terrified and when you're broke and your back is up against the wall, you make bad decisions, like I was saying before. And then you feel like a loser, and then you make the losing decisions. Think about sports too. If you go into a game, um, I really need water or something. There's some old tea. If you go into a game feeling like a loser because you lost the last game, it's not good for your outcome. Everybody knows that. It's the same with everything else. If you go into the next decision, next day feeling like you're a loser, it's not going to be good for the next day. You're just not going to make the right decisions. You're not going to try as hard as you can. And yeah, so anyway, let's wrap this up because I think I covered a whole lot. I just wanted to check in on Saturday. The weeks are not exhausting. You know, I in the past I always said I would be a zombie, man. They're not. It's doing good. The money is good. The money just helps my mind. It helps. It's therapy. I had never heard pay therapy or money therapy, but it's a thing, man. My my mental stress and worry has come down so much with, and it's not like I'm making bucket loads of money. I'm not winning the lottery every week. They're not sending me money from, millions. It helps. It's really helping. It's really working. And then what I use that psychology of success. How does it feel to be a success? How did you get to be a success? What embodied success for you, and how did you work it and move it forward in your life? That's what I capture. That feeling, that thought, that process. Because like Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues, and it definitely does, because everybody's about it. What did you do to get there? Not everybody wants to hear about it. I've told people about the second job situation. They don't want it. They don't want it. They rather suffer. They're insanely broke. I mean, probably heading towards bankruptcy. And they're like, well, somebody else's fault. Not mine. It's the government's. Right? Don't ship it out like that, man. Don't ship your life and your responsibility out to somebody else to handle, because they ain't gonna handle it. They're not. If you give your life or dreams away to somebody else to handle, they're just gonna handle it the way they want to handle it. And honestly, I tell you what, the government doesn't care about you. They want your votes when it's election time, but then go scratch when it's not. Get out of the way, or send them more money. Right? Donate more money. Ah, life is complicated, and that's why sometimes it's just so stressful. But if you can get that money down, once the money foundation is done, a lot of other things can flourish. It gives you money, just gives you opportunity to think and to breathe, right? Wow, yeah, um, that's the first thing, and then you can make better decisions. Now this month is just adding money to my bank account, okay, so that I have a buffer zone between um, sufficient from the wherever the amount in my bank account is and broke, right? A bigger buffer zone in case, stuff happens. Then next month, well, it's actually this month, uh, after this month, then I need to start paying down some of the credit card bills that I have, because now I have extra money laying in my account sleeping. Well, it needs to pay down debts so that I can get out from under all that stuff quicker and with less expense. And it's going to be stressful. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be stressful. I'm going to see stuff I don't want to see. I'm going to be like, oh my God, how can I do this? I don't see this. Or you'll do this. Oh my goodness, how did I let this happen? Why is this like this? Why? Guaranteed, right? I'll tell you how you got there, because you were broke and you let yourself get like that. That's how it happened. I thought about working a second job, honestly, probably not this July. Well, I did, but the July before that. I see the June as the middle of the year kind of thing. It's time to take, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do by June, you might want to pivot on some things. Right? So 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I was like, I gotta work a second job. And then I kind of convinced myself, calm down, you got this. You might be just a little above paying all your stuff, but that's okay, because you're gonna work your dream, and then things are gonna take off from there. Well, I tell you what, things didn't take off from there, and I got more broke until I was really broke, until the bank was like, hey, we're paying your bills for you, and it's only because you're making the money and replacing it. Yeah, it was not good. And then in July, I was like, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to get a second job. And honestly, and I looked around a lot at a lot of crud. Maybe I should go over that in another video. This is like 20 minutes now. Yeah, I'll go over that in the next video, what the whole process was for me to find the second job. It was mentality, and then it was actually getting down to the things I had to do. But then what really had me take off and what really sealed my success was realizing I needed mentors. And I'll go over that in the next video. Peace, people. Have a good day. Have a good life. Let's get it on. Let's do the best that we can possibly do in every day of our lives. Done.